Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Mumus Art. Today I'm going to show you a girl wearing a hoodie. And here first I'm going to use an already made drawing, like I make it a little bit slightly wavy here. So if you watch it on my previous video you can see it. Here how I draw it. First of all, when you put the hoodie comes until something like mid of your forehead, and then you need to really adjust the hair that is coming from inside outside. First you have to draw everything and trace them in a lightweight pencil stroke so that it will be obvious. Here you see the end result. You can understand better when I'm continuing. I have putty. Putty can be very good for dramatic shadows and also for a little bit extra brunette hair skin color. Here I'm going to make a little bit of dramatic shadow because the light is coming with a sharp angle from the left. The right side is going to be darker, of course, and according to the shapes, for example, the chin has a little bit curviness. So, because in this video I try to show you different things to you. This part is always on the dark because chin is at the very behind of the face. And I'm using the big tip, but I'm turning it in my hand so that I can receive a much more thinner one. And I'm using the almond color from Pro Markers here because she is going to have some bangs. I just don't do the whole forehead. Now I'm making with my Copic brush pens in barley beige, and I'm making it even more dramatic. So all the shadows that I'm placing it on the left side, on the right side because of the light. You have to be extra careful when you are drawing the chin because if you break the chin, let's say, it's not going to look good at all. The eyelids are also important. So after that, like I decide to make it not that dramatic, then you can correct it with almond. Almond is having a little bit of pinkish skin color, which is nice. It is not too pink. And now, as you see, the first layer is finished, the second layer is finished, but I'm still continuing. And now to blend it, I'm using the same skin color, almond, because it is a mild color, but it's going to be much more stronger when it is finished. And now I'm talking about bangs now. So the endings are very important if you want to do some bangs. I'm using a brush tip in dark brown. It is from Cura Color for the manga series. But before that, because I can easily mix everything, I'm trying to outline the hoodie part. And if you want to use this type of drawings, my advice is not to use very light color hair, but a little bit darker than your hoodies, because in this case, if you make a mistake, you can easily fix it. Like here I'm using an orange and then I'm going to make a dark brown. Be careful. At some point, the hoodie should be seenable. Like especially the beginning, most probably there won't be any hair there. But it is much more advisable just to take a picture that a girl is really wearing a hoodie, and try to draw it accordingly, because for a beginner it can be really difficult about where to see. Here I'm just planning it. I already planned, I'm making another second planning just to make it better at the ends. So here now, and there will be a zipper there. So if it is cotton, you need to blend it in a nice and clean way, because the sweatshirt quality is soft, not too much drapey, but also not reflecting the sun type. So what I basically do, I'm using the broad tip, the big tip, and in the hoodie, in the front of the hoodie, there is always a drawstring, generally speaking, or there is an ending to that hoodie. It can be with top stitching, maybe they fold it and make a top stitch, maybe there is a binding there. You need to decide it, and generally there are eyelets that the drawstrings are coming from. So always leave these as white, because generally they are made most of the time out of metal, and if you want to give a metal vibe, you need to make them white. Why? Because you are going to put some color on it, or if it is a shiny nickel one, you can just leave it white. If it is gold, you can place little bit of yellow, and then it's going to be okay. So I'm making the outlines. Now you can see what is under it much better. The endings are important. The endings should not be totally flat. That's why I'm making the direction different way. So from this side to the top I'm doing it, so that the edges are not bad. And then I'm planning from where is coming, and I'm blending well. Now let's start with the hair. You can see only some part of the hair, and the brush tips are very good for that one. So the bangs are coming, and I have to use this direction, otherwise she's going to look as if some cat scratched her hair. And here the direction is coming from the hoodie. So basically what I'm trying to do is to imitate, to show the eye of the person who is going to watch which one is at the back, which one is on the front. But dark brown is a dark color, so when you use it, use sparingly. I'm going to make some reddish hair. That's why I'm leaving some white spots bigger than normal, because I'm going to place some reddishness there. And here it is. It's coming from there, it's going outside, and it's curling. And I'm releasing the pressure when I come to the tips. You have to be extra careful to the tips, because there is always, if you check about your hair, the hair itself is not coming in the same width. Just take one hair and you will see that it's getting smaller when it's going to the edge. Here I'm using by the way, when you are dealing with markers, you have to check the colors. Outside and inside they can look completely different. That's why I know these colors, like this chestnut. It is a nice red, but it is more reddish type of. So I'm still leaving a little bit whiteness, because I really want some glossy hair, and I'm just putting some hair tips. A little bit irregularity, okay, but too much is not going to work. So, with the small tip I'm working about them. And you can always loosen some hair at the tips, but make it carefully. This part, you need to make it very clean. That's why I'm using the small tip about to outline it. And then I'm going to make it dark. Why? Because it is at the very behind, and most probably it is your hair that is inside. That's why you need to use the same mentality, like dark brown I'm using it. Otherwise it's going to look silly. So, because some hair are there, some hair are coming outside. And after that I take my colored pencils. I'm using khaki for green eyes. And it is also important which colors you are using as the eye color. Like khaki can be very nice for green, but if you try to use emerald green, you will see that nobody's hair color looks like emerald green. It's going to look fake. That's why I try to find some colors that is working. Like for blue colors, like it can be aqua, it can be gray, it can be powder blue. For green eyes, especially khaki green is working very nice as a nice base, but you can use other colors as well. But don't make it very vibrant colors so that it's not going to look fake. Then I'm blending it. And when I'm drawing the eyebrow, I have to make them equal. So, correct it if necessary. And it should be a very nicely sharpened pencil always. So I'm doing piece by piece. You see how I'm blending? I should not be able to see anything like the stroke or whiteness. I generally like to burn the colors a little bit after I apply the skin color with markers and then colored pencils. It's helping me to blend them much better. I go for a little bit drama here. Now I'm using a lighter color to blend with the rest of it. So that I can smoothen. If I try to do it with the shadow color, let's say, it's going to be too much. Here I'm aiming to have some matte lips. That's why I'm not putting any shininess, because if it is matte, it is matte, you know, there is no shininess. And I try to make some realistic color for the matte color because, you know, we like some certain colors when it's matte. But I still put some shadow, little, some light. Then I'm blending with a little bit more reddish skin tone to give some vibe. And I'm blending them by making my strokes very close to each other. Now, yes, you can make lots of details. I generally have lots of different colored pencils that I collect during the time. Some of them I bought them separately. Some of them are water soluble. Some of them are not water soluble. Some of them have a little bit colder color. So I'm generally collecting them. I like to buy them, but It's not necessary. I mean, you can do the same thing because I'm doing it daily basis. Of course, I'm using them a lot. Even if there are some pencils that is coming from your childhood time, you still can use them. But the quality is not going to be as you use it. Here, I have to give some details, like I told you that there is always a finishing around the hoodie. I'm putting a little bit reddish orange there to show that the fabric is being stitched there, so it's going to give a mark there. And also this color is very nice to blend with that one. And as you see, I try to sharpen the images. Now there will be two cuts there, so I'm making them slightly the idea, but I'm also making light and shadow here, application a little bit to give more realistic idea. These small touches are adding value to your drawings always, because this material is a soft material. And now the 3D is getting much more understandable. This rotring is especially nice working on top of a little bit oily material. That's why I like to use it. Some art liners are not working very nicely. So this is a drawstring. I always have to make the drawstrings with two lines, not one line only, as you can see, because they are not very thin and it is seeable. And I'm putting a little bit shadow around them and inside. You can make some folds, but it should be very nicely blended. I'm using my pencil because it's going to give me not too much black idea. So it's going to blend with the rest of it better. So I'm always adjusting according to the color values. Like if it was a little bit darker color, most probably I would have to use art liner anyway. But still I'm going to use art liner. But this is also going to make a rehearsal. I made a little bit irregularity there because I think when you put the hoodie, it is not 100% perfect shape, but slightly to give more realistic touch. Now I take the 0.05 or 0.1 will do, more clarity. If you want, yeah, you can do a little bit eyelashes. And now I'm making it darker so that it's going to look much more three-dimensional. With clarity, you need clarity if you want to have it clean looking type of drawing. And be careful about the chin, always be careful about the chin. Make it not in one piece, but several times, so that it's not going to be broken. Here I imitate the zipper teeth by making horizontal lines that are parallel, and then I'm going to make a center line and a cursor. It's very small, but I try to give the idea. And it is close, so make a big cursor. Generally they are using a little bit tight fit. Now I'm going to add these because I decide that I need more stronger one. You can also make some little folds over there. You can make some additional touch like these to make it look more greener, or to give a little bit more artistic feeling. I'm going to use this colored pencil for detail. Details are good. Loosen some ends so that it's going to look more realistic about the hair. A little bit more light and shadow to blend it, drawing a little bit hairline. And I'm nearly finishing now. And I'm making this so that it's going to look higher, because that side is darker. And here is the end result. Thank you for watching.